Hello, hi, welcome to the channel. My name is Sam. I also sometimes go by Ruby T, and I am also, and most importantly, your coach for the Dice Roll Jobbers, the VBA team, the VBA VGC Draft League, which I'm in, and the season is just kicking off. It's just underway. We've done the draft, and I'm super excited to share the team with you and to go over a couple of other things that have happened and maybe have a look at some of the other teams that are in the Draft League this year. So, for those of you who don't know, we are the Dice Roll Jobbers, which means a lot of our picks, a lot of our Pokemon have been rolled by dice. If you want to know in depth exactly what's going on, I did a whole video on it, which I'll link somewhere, maybe up there. I'm not really sure, but it'll be around. And if not, here's the short version. Every free pick, so the 4 free picks in this draft, which we used points for, I got to choose. Everything else was dice rolled. Okay, so I had to dice roll my first Pokemon, and I'll run you through the team now. Unfortunately, I had to pre-roll this because for various reasons I wasn't sure I was going to be around for the draft, and it turned out it was a good idea. I did a few practice runs before, and oh boy, some of these practice runs were bad, and I'll be honest with you, the final product, I think I'm really pleased with. Like, it could go so much worse. It's not the greatest team in Draft League history by any means, but oh boy, it could go so much worse. So yeah, first things first, we kicked off with our first roll, and we rolled Gigalith. Now, I actually had a chance to get Gigalith last year on a trade, and I turned it down. But when it comes to rolls, when it comes to Draft League rolls, Gigalith is so good. Like, I was literally, honestly, I was just like, I threw everything out the window. I was like, okay, this is brilliant. We have a kind of base. We have something to build a team around. I was really pleased. So yeah, Gigalith was our first pick. Followed up, we then got to choose one. So we had a tier 2 pick in Gigalith, and then we got our own free pick. So I chose Stoutland. Stoutland at tier 3 I think is an absolute steal. I think is genuinely one of the best Draft League Pokemon. Last season, you will recall, obviously I was in the final against Theo, and the only game I lost all year. And the reason I lost was due to Stoutland. Not that it came and did anything, but in prep I just didn't know what it was going to do. I had no clue what it was going to do at all. I didn't know how to prep for it. It has it has 3 really good abilities and an incredible variety of moves, and it's just really great. So I drafted Stoutland, works well with Gigalith, and can perform various roles on the team. I thought it was a really smart choice. Next up, it was my G-Max. I rolled G-Max and I rolled Grimmsnarl. Not the best G-Max Pokemon in the world, let's be fair. However, it was a tier 1, and that's all I cared about. I didn't end up with friggin' Pikachu or Eevee or something like that I really would struggle to use. I was really pleased with Grimmsnarl. So yeah, and then I used my next free pick to draft Dracozolt, so that I could really kind of cement that sand core. It also gave me immediately the Fairy and Dragon synergy, which was really cool. So I was kind of pleased with that 4. Next up, I believe I just threw the dice for the next load of picks until right at the end because I thought that'd be more fun. And we managed to land on Dusknoir, which I really like Dusknoir, so that was awesome. It's obviously has its uses. It's not the best Pokemon in the world, but again, I actually know a little bit about it, so it was kind of nice to have a Pokemon I've used before. So far, everything else I haven't used before, which is exactly why I was dice rolling in the first place, because I didn't want to just pick the same old Pokemon that I would have always picked. So pretty pleased about that. Then I rolled Pincurchin, and followed by Hitmonlee. And I didn't realise until afterwards that actually there is some really decent synergy between the two of them. Hitmonlee, I think, is really... Pincurchin, I think everyone's like, oh, it's a terrain user, terrain's really great. But I don't know. I'm not sold on it yet, to be honest. I'm going to keep it around because I think it gives me some interesting options, but I'm not totally sold on it. Hitmonlee, on the other hand, I actually think is a really awesome pick. I think it's really good for a tier 4 as well. So then the next 2 rolls were Berserker. I didn't even know what it did. I literally didn't know what it did. And Pheromosa. I didn't really know what Pheromosa did. I don't really like Pheromosa. I've looked it up now. It's kind of cool. I'm going to go with it. I think it's kind of a cool Pokemon. It's got some cool things going for it, and it's not the worst tier 1 I could have rolled by any stretch of the imagination. And I finished up with Coughing, regular Cantonian Coughing, and Darmanitan, both of which are kind of... Yeah, they're good in their own right. I picked those 2. I wanted a fire type because I didn't have one, and I think a decently powered fire type is actually you can build kind of calls and stuff, but something about having something like Darmanitan on the team is really fresh, really nice. And Coughing as well. So there you go. That's my team. I've actually already traded Berserker for Driftblim. With the terrain that I've got and the fact that I was having issues with ground weaknesses, it just made complete sense. I had a few spare points, so I traded up for Driftblim, and I actually think that has turned the team from kind of meh, bit weird, bit odd dice roll draft to something quite solid. So really pleased with it, and I'm really looking forward to using these Pokemon because I've never used any of them before, hardly, apart from Dust Noir, and I've used Gigalith a bit, but not a lot. So yeah, really cool. So there we go. That's me. That's my team. The next thing we're going to talk about is rating everybody's team. So here's the thing: you can't rate a draft team. Can't do it. You can't do it. You can rate individual Pokemon, you can rate synergy, you can rate whatever you want in the world, right? But you cannot rate how good a draft team is. I'm sorry, I just totally don't believe you can do it. It's my opinion. Obviously, other people will have differing opinions, but you can't do it. Like I'll look at a draft team. I'll look at it. I'm looking at it and I'm thinking, wow, this is really great. And then it turns out that actually it can be picked apart. Equally, you can look at a draft team and think, why on earth has this guy drafted these Pokemon? Why, this guy's insane. What on earth are you talking about? And actually, it turns out they had a really great plan. I didn't know about it. Like, you can't rate. So here you go. Here's my list. These are my tier list for the teams. As you can see, there are 15 teams in the top tier, and then there's one in the bottom tier. Sorry, Rat. So what I want to do now is just talk about like 2 or 3 different teams, which I think are really interesting for certain reasons. What I'll do is I'll hop onto the website so you guys can kind of see what they look like. Each of these teams, they're not necessarily like the best teams in the draft, like necessarily. They might turn out to be, but I think they've got some kind of cool aspects about them. So yeah, I'll just jump into that right now. Okay, the first team I wanted to look at in this kind of like a shorter review on the draft, I suppose, is Bubble Hulk's Gardener Guzzlords. Bubble's one of the admins of the VBA. Really nice guy. Very good player. And yeah, I mean, basically I just want to look at his top 6 here because I think it's incredible. You know, like, Draft League is different to VGC. Of course it is. Like, it's not the same, but Rillaboom, Incineroar, Tapu Fini, like, as far as fire, water, grass cores go, that's about as good as it gets, right? Like, that's insane. Then one of the fastest non-prankster Tailwind users in the format with Crobat. One of the best, in my opinion anyway, one of the best Trick Room Pokemon in the format with a Scavalier, and then Sableye with incredible prankster stuff going on there. Yeah, I mean, it's awesome. Look at it. What a team that is. That's insane. So you know, I think Bubble's going to be one to watch. He made a kind of late creep towards the playoffs last year and didn't quite get there, if I recall, but he's a really good player. Like, anyone who knows him knows he's a really good player. So I am very much wary of Bubble's team here, to be honest with you. I think it's really good, and I don't know quite how he managed to get G-Max, Rillaboom, Incineroar, and Tapu Fini, but hey, there we go. Okay, so the next team I wanted to take a look at is the Sandston Scissors, coached by Wolfender. I know Wolf, he's a really nice guy, and he's also a good player. He will be coming up with strategies you won't see coming, I'm sure of it. And there's just a couple of Pokemon he drafted which I think are really cool and really useful. First one is Raikou, however you want to say it, the stupid electric dog. It's insanely good. It gets a really decent set of moves, a lot of which you don't realise it's going to have. It has really good base stats. Inner Focus is a fantastic ability in general, and it just hits like an absolute truck. I'm not going to list the moves it's got because one of the things I don't really want to do in this video is like give away people's potential strategies and stuff, and I think that's very cool. So I'm going to just leave it there. But what I really love, and I imagine a lot of people will probably feel differently, I love that he's drafted Thundurus and Klefki together. Wolf likes a bit of prankster magic. He's all about that kind of thing. And I think having Klefki and Thundurus means that if he does want to run Defiant Thundurus, he can do so, and bring in Klefki in support. I think, and I've said this before, Thundurus and Tornadus are 2 of the best Pokemon in the format, hands down. I think they're amazing. I really think Thundurus is a great pick. I also love the Urshifu G-Max pick. I don't think he's going to be G-Maxing it too often, but I think that having it as a tier 1 like G-Max pick, I think is really good. So yeah, I think it's an awesome team, and I think it's one to watch. Alright, and the last team I'm going to look at, like actually kind of more in depth on the website, is the Island Dragons, Hawks Island Dragons. I think it's a really cool idea. It's pretty straightforward. It's the Island Dragons. They've got some dragons. I think it's awesome. I think that Dragonite is actually a really underrated Draft League Pokemon in general. Two good abilities. Multi-scale is so useful, not necessarily for self-procking weakness policy, which sometimes people think it is, but for all of the advantages it can give you as a bulky Pokemon, it is just awesome. The attack stat is nothing to be sniffed at. It's just great, and I love the idea that he's gone for the whole kind of dragons thing and just gone for it. You know, I think it's awesome. G-Max Charizard is fantastic. Tapu Lele, as we saw last season, can put in more work than maybe it was given credit for. And the Dragalge also is a really cool pick. I think it's a really, really nice pick. So I just like that the Hawk has gone for this dragon idea. Yeah, all right. There's obvious like ice weaknesses there. That's kind of clear. But what I'm really, really interested in seeing is how he's going to use this team, because I imagine he's got a plan, right? Like, I don't know what it is. I don't know what the plan is, but I imagine he's got one, and I'm really, really excited to see what it is. Like, really, really excited. I think it's going to be awesome. So, yeah. Okay, so the last thing we're going to do is I'm going to give out my my new biannual VBA pre-season awards. These awards are for excellence in various fields, and I'm sure you are all waiting with bated breath as to who is going to receive these awards. So the first award goes to the coach who is least likely to run Perish Trap, and this year the award goes to the Fifth Leaf. So well done, Fifth Leaf. Least likely to run Perish Trap. Yeah, well done, bud. The second award is going to be given to the coach who is most likely to draft my team from last season. And there are a lot of good contenders this year, but there was only one winner in the end. It is the Detroit Delmies and their coach Raz for taking my heart. Tugging on my heartstrings with the Tornadus, Ninetales and Venusaur, with the Sap Sipper Azumarill rather than Miltank. But oh man, I'm just looking at your team, man, and I'm like, there's the 10-0 right there. What a team. You just look after my Tornadus, okay? Look after Tornadus for me, because he's just the best. Okay, and so the final award goes to the team with the Pokemon that I hate the most. Now, this is a prestigious award. This is the one everyone wants to win. I'm pretty sure this is the one we're all after. And this year's winner is also the owner of the best team name in the Draft League. It's Ricky as Senpai with the Rock'em Sock'ems for drafting Sork. Sork. I really, really hate it. It is literally the bane of my life. Go away, Sork. And you've named your team after it, and you know I hate it. You know I hate Sork. So yeah, but congratulations on your award. They're all in the post, so you guys should all receive your awards sometime really, really soon. There we are. All right, thank you guys for watching. A little bit more of a silly take on the Draft League this year, rather than all the serious stuff that's been going around, which has been really awesome. And I didn't want to just churn out the same stuff as you guys already did. So I hope you enjoyed yourselves, and I'll see you soon. Bye bye.